Once more, welcome this evening. This is Rebuilding Family Foundation coming all the way from Mombasa with an intentional goal. How can we get to understand some key skills, having right mindset, worldview, which can help us in different issues of life pertaining our relationships. I'm really happy and excited to have you joining us. I can see already online that people are joining us. I'm really happy and excited to have you joining us today, even as we are going to have this great, nice, and wonderful program. We're living at a time whereby parenting is becoming a great challenge to many people. And we have different form and type of families existing within our society. With these kind of challenges coming in, what are some of the things we need to know, we need to understand, so that by the end of the day, we can have and realize a great success. Once more, welcome in our program, Rebuilding Family Foundation. This program comes each and every Friday from 9 to 10. However, in the course of the week, we have different kind of programs which we run. This includes every Tuesday, My Health, My Wealth. Every Wednesday, Moment with Christ. Every Thursday, we have Marketplace Venture. And every Friday, Rebuilding Family Foundation. If this is the first time you're joining us, kindly subscribe to our channel so that every time we are live, you can get a signal, you can join us, and also you can learn as much as possible. As I was saying before today, we have a lot of dynamics and challenges within our homes, and parenting has really become so much challenged, extremely diverse because of different things. In the past, we had our grandparents who made sure that they trained us, they trained their children to become effective parents in the context of our African traditional system. Our family structures was very clear. Roles for men and women were extremely clear. Children had their part. And also apart from that, every member of the community knew he had a responsibility for the welfare of each other and one another. Later on in time, we started getting different diversity. Christianization, Islamization, Buddhization, Hinduism coming in our African context, challenges of civilization, challenges of westernization, and a lot of modern dynamics which are there. With all these challenges, is it still possible to be an excellent parent and to give the best shot for the great future of your children? Today, I have a guest with me, someone I've known for quite a long time, I think for the past 25 to 30 years. He's a professional counselor who has been in the field of teaching and lecturing psychology counseling for quite a long time. Also, he's a family therapist. He has been helping so many people, families, as far as the issues of life is concerned. Apart from that, he's the chairman of Kenya Counseling of Kenya Professional Association, which actually is within all over the country, different kind of certified professional counselors. And he'll be our guest, so that from him we can be able to learn a lot of tips which will help us in one way or the other. As we move on and you get tips and you have questions, make sure that as you subscribe, you can answer, you can throw your questions even as we discuss this thing called parenting. Let me bring on board Mr. Philip Kaume. Yes, hello, Mr. Philip.
Yes, Collins.
Habari
Mr.
ya masiku.
Collins. Yeah. Ah, I thank God for each and everything. Nashukuru.
Yes,
It's
yes, I'm
wonderful.
very happy to, yeah, I'm very happy to have you on stage today live
Yeah.
in our program, Rebuilding Family Foundation.
Also, myself, I'm happy
That's
and I thank God for each and everything. This is the right place for each one of us to be. And I hope our
thank
audience
you
will
very
be
much.
able
I really appreciate so much.
yeah. So, could I continue?
Sure, sure, sure.
Thank you. I really
Yes. Now,
appreciate.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, parenting is a challenge in our society. Kindly, yes, tell us something about parenting. What are some of the things making parenting to be such a great challenge in our world of today?
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Collins. And I would say that there are quite a number of things that are making us get some challenges, starting from me and getting to others. Like in Swahili, we start mimi na wewe, but in English says you and I. So, being the first person, also, I'm undergoing some challenges and I've developed some ways on how to deal with it. But I would say that we are, we as parents, one of the things that I've been seeing is that we have not been accepting that we cannot live in 19th century or 20th century, and this is a 21st century. And 21st century is a world now, or world of digital and of technicality. So with the technology that is continuing, there's really a challenge. And this Philip Kaume, being a counseling psychologist, and having been in the field, and my clients, even they might be hearing me, I'm speaking tonight. Them are welcome, and this is the right place for each one of us to be. So I would say that the generation that we are having today, as far as issues of our young people, it's really challenging, because one of the things is that we are not aware of the developmental stages that are there, from the childhood, infant, from when you have given birth to that son and the daughter, and after that 0 to 1 year, there's some challenges within that needs to be to that the parenting part of it may be very enjoyable. And also from 1 year to 3 years, also there are challenges that go on within that. And I'm saying some of them going like that up to the age. Remember, you and I at the age we are, like myself being in the 50s, still when mom still sees me, sees a child, he does not see a big man, but he call me a child. So
Yeah,
some of the challenges that I would like to mention,
that's true.
a quick one, is that one, we are not understanding these young people. The understanding part of it, we have not understood them, because they are living in their own world. With us, we are living with the world that we have grown in, because of the digital or the technicality or technology that is there. Like one of the examples I'm having, because of technology, I'm having my son, and I cannot put any password in my mobile. He can open it. And out of that, when I learned that, I had to teach him the constitution of a family. One of the things also I'm saying, also parents,
Yes.
we have not developed a right constitution that of our children, because the constitution is not written and they are able to follow them. The other thing I would say is that the young people with the developmental stages is a challenge. 1 year to 3 years, 3 years to 6 years, and so on. We have not been seeing those challenges. And out of that, we end up getting our children, the challenges of getting LGBTQ. Yeah, they end up getting there, and for them to get there, they find it very much okay for the life they are living because they have not been taught the right thing. They have been teaching themselves right way. And another challenge that we are seeing from the young people, we are out there to look for the shilling, but we do not have time for the children so that we can give them the right teachings. Another thing that I would like to mention is that if they do not have any other person to talk to, they get to the wrong groupings or company. And once they get to other companies, we are done. They end up learning the things that are being within that setting. So within those are some of the challenges I can mention now as per what I've been seeing in most of the children. Even the issues of discipline, for them to get it right, it's another problem because of the teaching that the parents have not been aware of. I wonder whether, Mr. Collins, I'm getting it right as I put it, the way I put it. More you need.
Yeah,
Question asked.
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, I can get you very clearly. What you are saying, one of the biggest challenge today in parenting is the fact that most of the parents are not aware about the development stages of their children. So due to the ignorance of not being aware each and every stage where a child is and the need which need to be addressed at that stage can become an issue of a challenge. Then also you address that another challenge is the fact that we have a lot of absentees parents today in our homes. In their search of money for the children are growing without the parental care, which them one way or the other towards other challenging dynamics of today, like LGBTQ, whereby they lose their self-identity, they lose their self-worth, they lose the meaning of their roles, and they prefer to switch and change to another gender identity. And then the challenge of the issue of technology, which is coming in. Now, with that in mind, again, you've just reminded me about dynamics of families in our society today, because with parenting, we have single-parented homes, we have street family homes, we have today other new type of family whereby children are growing with parents, so-called parents of the same gender, again taking place. There are those who are growing up being taken care of with their grandfathers or their grandmothers, and some with their auntie and their uncle. So in ideal situation, what exactly should happen, because are really emerging challenges in our society today?
You have another question? Sorry.
Yeah, just that one.
Mr. Collins, please.
Yeah, I've already asked the question.
I'm not hearing. It's cutting you off. I don't know the mic.
Okay, can I repeat again?
Yeah, repeat.
Yeah, I'm saying with the emerging challenges of, for example, there's some children who are growing in a single-parented home. There are some who are growing in polygamous. We have some who are growing strict families systems. Also, apart from strict families, we have children who are growing with parents of the same gender, among others. What should be the ideal situation and what need to be done in these dynamics?
Thank you. One of the things, whether you are a single parent, whether whichever way you are, the whole thing we need to come down and be aware. Whom am I? Where am I going? And how can I get there? Because we would like these children to have it right, their lives are concerned. And if they need to have it right, you as an individual, be it the father, be it the mother, be it the two parents, the emphasis should be setting uh, setting some strategies or setting a constitution. What do I mean by a constitution? Just like what you have said before, the culture of today, you need to know what you need to talk to your children. And one of the things that you need to talk to your children because of these challenges is that they may be able to know themselves, and knowing themselves, that will be able to mobilize themselves and move ahead with their own vision. Because each one of us, we need to have a vision. If we do not have a vision, we have to perish, because we shall be having helter skelter. Why have it helter skelter? Because we do not know where are we going, how to get there, and once you do not know where you are going, you are done, or you don't know where you are now, and you don't know where you are going and how to get there. It's very important for each one of us to be aware of what is required of us. And once you know what is required of you, you are able to work it out in through your ways. So either single, either boys, either man, either father, mother, each one of them, they need to know their roles well. What is expected of me to my children? And once you do it, you shall never regret what you're doing, because you've already planted seeds. And when you leave them, they'll be in a position to by their way.
Oh, thank you very much. So basically, you're talking about
another issue because they know how to stand
the need for self-awareness.
I'm losing you, Collins.
Okay, I don't know what's happening today because I'm losing you from your side. You're losing me from my side. Yes. Can you get me well? Seems like today our internet has a lot of issues.
There's a lot of breakdown, especially the voice also is going. I don't know whether you heard me.
Yeah, I can hear you, but you are on and off, on and off. Let me hope that things just get back to normalities so that we can proceed. Okay, so basically you are talking about self-awareness, personal vision for life as part of the key thing.
Yeah. Yeah, the home need to have a self-awareness. The individual parent need to have the awareness.
Oh, thank you. So what more can you add on top of that, even as I said things on this other side? Yes, apart from self-awareness and personal vision, what more do parents need to understand? Okay. Let me see what I can do and see if maybe Mr. Philip can get me much better. Yes, viewer, if you can get me well from any part of the country, kindly I'll appreciate you just to send a word or two so that I can get you very well. I'd like to appreciate Betty Sirengo right now, all the way from Eldoret, saying interesting topic. Thank you, Betty Sirengo from Eldoret. I'm really happy and excited to have you on our studio today. We have someone else. We have Mr. Cendric Mumbo saying great conversation. Thank you, Mr. Cendric Mumbo, even as you are joining us. I don't know from Mombasa, from Nairobi, but from any part where you are. Kindly, if you can hear me, if you can get my transmission, just tell us where are you watching us from. Just tell us where you are watching us from so that as we move on with this conversation, we can be able to enjoy the beauty and the sweetness of this great conversation. As Mr. Philip Kaume was addressing this subject matter, there are a number of things which he has said very key and very paramount. For parenting to be effective, one of the things which is required for every parent to know is where is my child in the development stages? Because we have different development stages where from the time a child is born until a person gets to the age of 60 and above, we have different psychosocial development stages. There are different social stages which kids are and people are. But as a parent, are you aware on the stage at which every child is? And are you aware about what is the need for the child in that stage? The second thing which is addressed, which is very important, is self-awareness. What is your role in helping your child to discover himself or herself, to know who they are, to know their purpose, to know their gifts and talents, so that when you are raising up your child and you are doing parenting to them, you can be able now to help him to develop a vision which is based on self-awareness. And Mr. Philip Kaume brings it up very well that if a child grows up without a clear vision of where he's heading to, and you as a parent, you don't actually lead your child in such awareness, then it makes things to be a bit challenging in one way or the other. Again, we acknowledge the dynamics of family dynamics in our society today. You have people are growing from single parented home. There are those who are growing from absentee parented homes. Yes, both parents are existing but absent seeking for money. And children are growing by themselves and being mentored by cartoons and programs, soap operas, and everything. And today, even our local soap operas, international soap operas are flooding our television, and our children are being raised up by some of these programs. While parents are not aware, they're losing it in one way or the other. Are you a parent? You think it's easy today? We talked about the issue of technology, how technology today actually is taking charge of a lot of time, a lot of concentration of our children is so much on technology. And one day a child was heard saying he wished it could be a phone so that everybody would be looking at it. The child wished that it was a phone so that by the end of the day, everybody can touch her or him, put focus and attention. Because technology is good, but at the same time, we are getting a lot of challenges which are coming with the issues of our society today. Mr. Philip Kaume also addressed the issue of the challenge of LGBTQ coming in. Here you are, your son left for Form 1 in a very good, prestigious high school, where after the first time, second time he gets home, he tells you he feels he's more of a woman than a man. Your son, your daughter goes to university. When he comes back, he starts claiming and declaring that he has lost his identity and he prefers to identify himself or herself with another gender identity. When these things take place, it gets us off guard and also extremely challenging. Now, while the parents are having these challenges in parenting, at the same time, there are other dynamics which are just hitting them on the left and on the right. Other new dynamics like separation and divorce, making parenting to be so hard and very difficult. A young boy has just gone to high school, is back from school, the parents are no longer living together. What happens in the mind of this child? What kind of a damage gets into the mind and the life of this particular child? Or you find one of the parents deciding to forgo his or her role in taking care of children in parenting, but prefers to go for pleasure or other objects. And today, a friend of mine sent something to me from United States of America, and he was telling me how men are buying a lot of Samanthas, a lot, because people have been so much hurt in their interpersonal relationship to the point whereby they are looking for alternative partners, even non-living existing partners, leading to another psychological condition called paraphilia, whereby people are seeking for sexual pleasure on non-living objects. Then the same particular individual is back to raise up other living people, beings, being the children. I don't know if you're thinking the way I'm thinking. We have a challenge as parents. Our children are in great challenge. Let me just show you a short clip about what's happening in America right now. A society of people whom at one point of time they brought to us civilization, in a society whereby our parents and great-grandparents were polygamous. In a society, men were adding more women and more children so they can manage their society, they can govern their society very well. But later on in time now, we are being pushed. We got pushed from polygamy to monogamy, and from monogamy now to living with objects. Let me show you one crisis taking place in developed countries, and soon will be a great problem in our society. Watch this. So I'm waiting for the guests to continue from here.
I have to send it to your wife. Stand her up.
She's like 60 kilos, isn't she?
Oh my God.
She is seriously curvy.
That's a Beyonce.
Yeah, mate.
Hello, love.
They wanted to know where they hid the body.
Wow. That's a booty.
That is Kim Kardashian.
Yeah. A doll made in the image of Beyonce, and men are buying it for sex. In the past, people are condemned for worship of idols. And today, other dynamics which are coming is images of other people for sex. And sex is divine in itself and by nature. Do you think parenting is a challenge? And a big challenge. If you agree with me, we have a big challenge in parenting and something needs to be done. Just send something, communicate to me kindly from where you are and give me your point, what you think. It is a big global challenge as far as parenting is concerned. I'd like to appreciate Dr. Danny Wameo. Today is tuned all the way from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania. Thank you, Wameo. even for joining us, one of the great supporters of this program. Whenever it travels, you will make sure it logs in to follow up with our program. Thank you, Amel, today, watching all the way from Dar es Salaam, Tanzania, the land of Suluhu, the First Lady President. Anybody else? I'd like to get you. I'd like to hear you. I'd like to get your communication even before I bring back the guest speaker. Do you think that we have great challenges in our society today? We have great challenge when it comes to parenting in our society today. If you feel there's a challenge, kindly send something. Talk to me, communicate to me, give me your view on the same matter. As I was telling you that we have several programs which we're running apart from Rebuilding Family Foundation. We have the Marketplace Venture. We have My Wealth, My Health, My Wealth, which is every Tuesday from 8 to 9. Every Wednesday from 8 to 9, we have Moment with Christ. And every Thursday from 8 to 9, we have the Marketplace Venture. And every Friday from 9 to 10, because of sensitive issues. That's why we have put 9 to 10, because some of the sensitive issues which we need to show you and to talk with you when our children are asleep. And that's why we move it from 9 to 10. Like what I've just shown you right now, a threat coming on our way for our parenting task and roles. Now, in our Marketplace Venture, I'd just like to show you one of the things that you are doing now on how can you sharpen your axe, how can you sharpen your skill, how can you sharpen your gift, how can you sharpen your mindset so that you can become very successful and effective and you can build your wealth creation. In a time like now, when there's a lot of crisis, I believe issues of money and cash flow affect even our parenting role. So that next Thursday you may not miss, listen to what one of our presenter mentioned last time on sharpening your skill for wealth creation.
Okay, so wealth doesn't matter how hard you work down here. Working harder is not going to make you wealthy. Now, you can live down here your whole life and still be wealthy, because wealth that you create is going to be determined by what you do with the money that you make, not how much money you make. Okay? So, but you're not going to create wealth by working harder down here. Wealth doesn't start to be created until we get above the line. So, what's this level? This level is communication. And on this level, we use our mouth to create money. I mean, we could also write, but we're going to just communication, okay? So, on the low end, you're going to make $100,000 a year, and on the high end, you could make hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Hundreds of millions. You sell cars, you can make 100 grand a year selling cars. You make 100 grand a year selling insurance. You make 100 grand a year selling real estate. You can make more than that, but if you're an A-list actor, an A-list singer, or you're a songwriter like Dolly Parton, you can make $100 million a year. Huh. Communication. Here's what's interesting. While I was growing up and everybody was telling me that children are to be seen and not heard, and they were telling me sit still and be quiet, nobody told me that the key to fortune is in communication. This book right here, I wrote this book. It's called Boss Moves. And boss is not me bossing you around. It's certainly not you bossing me around, so let's don't get it twisted. Okay, so it's called Boss Moves. BOSS is an acronym that stands for Business Optimization Success Secrets, or if you're referring to a person that's a boss, Business Optimization Success Strategist. That's a person who's a boss, right? So we show people how to optimize their businesses. Optimize, oh, that's like sharpening the axe. Are you seeing the connection? Well, up here, you're gonna use your mouth, okay? Now, the highest level of value is imagination. And on this level, we use our mind and our money to make money. Now, here's what's cool. This is the highest level of value. Up here, you're going to make on the low end, you're going to make $1 million a year. On the high end, it could be billions or more. One of the things I found out, I worked way harder when I was down here. I was never here. Okay, that was not me. I was down here. I was the person they were telling what to do. It didn't matter how hard I worked, the amount of money I made was always going to be limited at the lower levels of value. How many of y'all track it? And so what we got to do is we want to get to the place in our lives where we say, like, I don't need to work harder to make more money. If I want to create wealth, I don't need to work harder, I need to work higher. Work at a higher level. It's not about delivering more value at the lower levels. It's about delivering a higher value. Are y'all tracking with me? It's about delivering a higher value of for other people at a higher level.
Yes, we are back. I think you can get the transmission well and clear, even as guest is just getting back in a few minutes, even joining us. What do you think might be other challenges with us? So we're getting on right now. Send your comment, give us your opinion, tell us what you think about some of the challenges which we might get even in raising up our children and in our families and in our marriage. Okay, anybody else? What do you think? Let me read someone else what he's saying at this particular point. Then I'll be back to our presenter who is working out to fix his internet at this particular point in time. Yes, Dr. Romeo says, infights and disagreement between parents has a great impact to the upbringing of the children. I repeat that. He says that infights and disagreement between parents has a great impact in upbringing of the children. I agree with you, Wameo. It is true. Whilst there's a lot of fighting, there'll be a great challenge. And we're going to talk about the role of such. We have Sanya, again, somebody else from Tanzania, Sanya Ogongo, saying great teaching indeed. Thank you very much. I hope you and the Karo, you can meet in Dar es Salaam, even as you are joining us all the way. Where are the people in Kenya today? I'm getting people in diaspora, Eldoret, where guys in Mombasa, guys in Nairobi, who can join us today in our forum. Really interesting. Wameo has talked about infights and disagreement. It is true. Actually, do you know that it has been found out that most of the families where both parents fight most of the time, the impact of their fights on children makes some of the children to grow up deciding never to get married, never to get in marriage, and some it even goes further. They hate marriage. Now, why do they hate marriage? Because for them, as far as they are concerned, marriage is a platform of fighting, arguing, and hurting and harming one another. And all these things happen when within a home there's a lot of infighting, which by the end of the day, it has a lot of disadvantages in one way or the other. Also, it has been found out that most of the people who grow up in such kind of environment, unless they are mentored to overcome some of the negative impact and attitude and worldview about marriages, they become also very abusive. Young boys who see their father always butchering their mom, they might grow up also doing the same thing to their wives. Some of the women who grow up seeing their mom being beaten up, they might grow up hating marriage, or they'll prefer to have a man who can do to them what their father was doing to their mom. It happens. Why? Because of failing in our roles of parenting. So that one means that every parent has to know what your children do today, might have a negative impact for their tomorrow. So we have a responsibility to make sure that we secure our tomorrow very well. Yeah, my presenter had a problem with his network. Let me try to see if he's back and he can make it. Mr. Philip Kaume, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So it seems you are much clearer without putting the
I'm not.
camera on.
It's
Yeah,
okay.
because you're, okay. Maybe if the camera is an issue, you can still proceed and we can hear you very well. Oh, it's already off again. Okay, okay, it's getting back in a few minutes. It's getting back in a few minutes.
Is it okay?
Yes, Mr. Philip.
I-
Can you hear me? I'm really sorry with the network challenges from your side.
Now I think it's okay. You can hear me?
Yes, I can hear you very well, though I cannot see you, but I can hear you very well.
It's okay. Then if you can hear me, already the audience had already seen me. So if you
Yes,
allow
you can proceed.
me, it's okay. You can see the
Yeah,
picture
proceed.
on whichever, but I'm ready. I don't know whether there are only some questions, but I would like to just to emphasize what you have just communicated about or the children, what they see us doing, they also imitate it. And that is one of the
Yes, yes.
theories. I don't know whether you have mentioned about the theories. There's a theory called Albert Badula. Usually, I end up challenging people and say Badula was a Griama, but he was an Asian. He was coming from Russia.
Yes, yes,
So he's the one who talked about the social learning. The children, they end up learning what we are doing. If the father is an abuser, is a drinker, is ever abusing drugs and what have you, also the children, they end up also doing the same. So these are some of the things that are there, and we need to work on them. And also, according to Pavlov, Pavlov also said that we
yes.
are the product and the producer of our own environment.
Environment,
So our
yes.
children, yeah, we are the producer and the product of our own environment. Just like people would like to go outside Kenya and get some jobs, but to me, I believe, according to Pavlov, we can make Kenya better, we can make our homes better, we can make our children better, we can make our wives and our husbands better, and we proceed with the life because I like that theory. Also, there's this
Yes,
person who talked about people are the children on the developmental part of it. This Eric Erickson.
yes,
Eric Erickson says that
yes. Eric Erickson, yeah.
if yeah, if we are able to bring trust from the word when the child is born, if the trust is built, they cannot be the same. But once there's mistrust,
Yes,
the children continue in their future life also with mistrust. After that, if the children are being taught to have some um, inferiority complex, also they can end up getting some, instead of being industrious, they become inferior, a lot of fear. Also, when children see they're given
yes,
opportunity to initiate things, especially 3 to 6 years, how to initiate some of the things. Also, they learn to be inventing, and they can invent good things that people could enjoy and can make it in a wonderful way. So, another thing that
yes,
also Erickson talked about is about the identity and confusion. The teenagers at that age,
yes,
if they don't get it right, they get confused. That's why some of them are joining LGBTQ and other
yes,
kind of
yes,
behaviors, or even drugs and many other things, because there's confusion. They do not know themselves. They don't know. And once they get there, the blame comes back to the parent. When we see it, when you take history, you'll find, and some of us parents, we are wild. We are so much beating the children, and the psychology
yes,
is the best. The best way is
Mhm.
to be a model. Yeah. And once we become a model, also this Pavlov is the one who came out with being a model. And once you become a model, you shall not be. And Frederick Skinner could talk about the being model. If I'm a model, my son, my daughter will learn a lot from us. But some of us, we have allowed these things to be open, and it has really brought a lot of problems as far as parenting is concerned and the children is concerned. The other thing is about when you get to the above 20s, there's what to call intimacy
Yes.
versus the isolation. People have end up
Yes.
being isolated from people, other communities, other families, and what have you. So these are some of the things we need to observe. And once we observe, we shall not be the same. And I would say that there's a lot we can have, Collins, unless they have some other questions, some questions that you would like to. And I can see the time is not with us. How I wish could have more time.
Yes. Yeah. Your time I can see it's not
Collins,
on our
to
side. We
you.
have like around 8. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. I
If
really
there are some
appreciate we have like
questions,
around 8 minutes.
maybe.
Okay. Uh, let's see if in case you are listening to us, you can hear us in your question. We really like to appreciate you asking a question and sending your question so that in the next few minutes we can be able to assist or help in one way or the other. You have like around 7 minutes to go. You have like 7 minutes to go, which can be really resourceful as we get to answer one of your questions. We have someone else on board called Elizabeth Nzula who says following and also thanking us for this program. Thank you, Elizabeth Nzula. Kindly make sure that you subscribe to our channel today so that every time we have our program running, you can be able to get our transmission. Someone is asking this question, Philip Kauman, that the question is, how
Yeah.
does culture of our communities impact to our relationships with our kids? Their morals, upbringing being the main issue here. How does culture of our communities impact to our relationships with our kids? Or how do our culture affect our relationship with our kids today and also their moral upbringing being the main issue? Maybe you can give an answer. Say Masai Luo, for example, uh, like I hope you're talking about intermarriage. Like Masai says, like Masais have their culture, Luo have a strong culture, Luyas have a strong culture. So where we have communities with a very strong culture, what is the positive aspect of our strong culture, and what about if there be negative aspect about our culture? I can see the guest is network as an issue. Is culture good? Is culture bad? How does it impact? If it happens that you are raising up your children from a tribe with
Some of
very
the culture.
strong traditions and culture. Yes, Mr. Philip, that's the
I
question.
want to, yeah, I want to borrow one of the culture from our community we call Masai,
Yes,
which I like it.
yes,
Uh, to them, they end up doing some initiation, even in the Luya land,
yes,
of declaring you mature. They have some ceremonials which are declaring you mature,
yes,
whereby such are some of the cultures that you can embrace. But cultures that are using the issues of like mutilations and what have you,
yes,
so those ones are against health. And anything that is against our health, we need to shy away from. Another thing that we need to shy away with is when we have a child who has been born with intersex,
hmm,
and in a community, they end up saying it's a bad domain. When you ask,
Yes.
I'm happy Dr. Mwameo is around. And these are
Yes.
some of the things that people are missed children. By the time this child is 25, he has started some periods, yet when he was born, he was showing more of masculine than
Masculine. Yeah.
feminine. So
Mhm.
these are some of the things we are saying that our culture, they should not say it's a bad omen. It's not a choice for this child to be born intersex. That means born with two sex. That's what I mean by intersex. So
Yes.
some of
Yeah.
the cultures that are going against health, to me, I would say no. But when we come cultures whereby they are bringing our health, our morals, be disciplined, those are the cultures that we need to embrace. But once we get to cultures that are making us, like now, there's a culture, the Muslims could agree with me. With 14 years, you get married, something of that, because you are mature and what have you. And because of the constitution, you find
Yes.
now they are adhering to it. So just imagine a girl of 12
Yes.
years or to 15 years is married. Even in African setting, that is what was being conducted some years ago. So to me, I would say
Mhm.
that people need to measure the culture that are embracing development, but the cultures that are against some of the things that are right as far as the health of an individual is concerned should not be advocated, and many other things.
Yes. Yes. Thank you. Actually, you have just reminded me. There's one of the guests I'll be inviting soon. This guest,
Yeah.
while growing up, he was a very strong young boy, a very good soccer player. But at the time we got to the age of adolescence, he started growing breasts. She started having menses, and her voice, his voice, instead of now becoming bars like of a boy, it's then changing to become like a feminine. And
Yeah.
when this child was born, he was born with both genders. He had both the male gender organs and also female organs at the same time. So the tradition
Yeah.
of the tribe of this person demanded that once a child is born that way, it's supposed to be killed, but the mother hid that individual. Today, is still single, not married, is yet to decide which way to go. But the community where he's coming, the person is coming from, he has been really been accepted. So when he dresses like a male, is masculine. When he dresses like a female, she looks very feminine. But she's a human being, and today he, I don't know what to call her, he or she is also a pastor in one part of our
Ah,
country. I'm intending to bring this person on one of our program so that she can talk about her story. She can talk about the challenge. She can talk about how people have condemned her, even within our religious circles. Yet she did not choose to be born with both organs.
that's it.
But today she's preaching Christ in the community. So one of the days I'll be inviting this individual to come and tell us his her story in our program. We'll be finishing by one more concern from a male who says that I also believe the initial years of introduction of our children to morality based on religious background has an impact. For example, Christianity, expressed Christianity or Islam. What has the speaker got to say about this? What's your opinion about the impact which religion puts on us in our early childhood? Does it have positive impact or just negative impact? We'll finish with that.
Positive. Thank you, Mr. Colin. I would say that the religion are giving us positive, but the cults are giving negative. So we need to know what kind of a religion is that.
Yes, yes.
So we need to identify any
Mhm.
religion that is against health of individual or sacrificing individuals and what have you. Because you have some religions who believe on sacrificing, and they end up
Yeah.
interfering. So to me, like the children who go to madrasa in the Muslim community, I really appreciate, because they are being taught morals on how to live. The same thing the children who go for Sunday school, Bible study, all
Yes.
that, they
Mm-hmm.
are able to come up in a wonderful way. And most of us, that's where we have grown, and that's why we are what we are. Instead of being in
Mm-hmm.
maybe in the traditions or cultures, we were put in the church. And today, I remember Proverbs in the Old Testament. That is what Mama and Dad could read for us in the evening.
Yes.
I've not learned the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I read for my family. We read it together because I saw the book enlightening and very educative as far as moral standards are concerned. So I've said
Sure.
that we need to test the religion. We need to test the religion, and we see, because nowadays, because of freedom of worship, you can see the Shakahola
Yes. Yes.
and
Yes.
many
Yes.
other. Even there's one which has started in Kwale. I don't know whether there's somebody coming from Kwale. There's one which has already started in Kwale, and they were saying
Yeah.
it's also another Shakahola cult. I don't know.
Yes. Yes. Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
I
Religion
don't
has a
know.
very
I don't
key
know
part,
whether
and it has
Mr.
proved
Collins
for
you
many
got
years
somebody
to
from
be
Shakahola
impacted.
to testify.
I'm yet to get to it, because it's funny. All the tragedies which have been taking place in the past, we as therapists, we have been so much involved, but this time it seems like even the survivors have been so much pushed away from reaching to us. So making, because the people are coming up and speaking, most of them, their stories
I think
sound like fabrications so they can get attention and following in social media. So I'm yet to meet with two or three who can give us their story how they escaped from Shakahola.
I have
I
people
don't
who
know
have
from
been
your end.
dealing with the Shakahola.
Yes.
I am saying I have some people who have been ministering Shakahola clients, but I'll invite also as we get in touch, so that one of the days they come to the board and in the studio and testify
Yes.
some of the
I think we
things.
can do that. We can plan for that, and they talk about their story, how Shakahola actually
Yeah.
impacted their life negatively and how they escaped and where they are even today. I think that will be very important.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
just hold on from where you are. Don't leave the studio. Viewers, thank you very much. I'm happy and excited. I know today one of the challenge we have had is network. However, the little information which has come from our guests, I believe it will add value to you in one way or the other. Join us once more next week, a time like just today, from 9 to 10, even as we get to learn more and more about family, marriage, parenting, and how we can become men and women of success. Good night. God bless you, even as we plan to connect again next week, same time, same place. God bless you.
Thank you.